Okay, so what's Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 17 of the Hunger for the Hustle podcast, live with me this afternoon, this Saturday afternoon, where it is 1 p.m. in Melbourne, and with my guest for today, who I'm absolutely pleasured and privileged to be with, who's joining me live from New York City, where it's 11 p.m. on Friday there. Firstly, thank you, Denise, for joining me at such a late hour. The hunger of the hustle must be deep within you as you prepare to do an interview like this on a Friday night.
That's right. I'm hungry for the hustle too.
I love it. I love it. That's why you're here. Now, Denise is many things. I've been doing my research. She's an author, a writer, a creator of various charities or organizations knitted together and Seed for Change, and also has created something which I'm very interested to learn about today called the Author's Den, and has recently come up with her own challenge called the Writers Incubator. Now, I must say, actually, Denise, I've been seeing you talk about this in the various groups we're involved in, and there's a reason I hadn't got back to you yet, because I certainly want to actually take up this challenge. But I wanted to wait until we were live here on the podcast. I've got an idea for 2 books I want to write. So perhaps as me, someone, and it's actually the perfect opportunity to talk about it and show the audience what it is. I'm interested. I want to take up the challenge. So tell me a little bit more about it.
Well, come on in. Oh my God, that's exciting to hear, because I know that you have a ton of information to share, and a lot of people's lives will be changed when you come out with your book. You're awesome. So the Author's Den, we have a Writing Incubator challenge where we invite people to see how much they can accomplish in 30 days, because a lot of people, they are interested in writing their books. They have been saying it for 20 years or many, many, many years. I'm going to write a book. They just don't know where to start. Or they have been told by many different people, you need to write a book. You have great stories. And they want to, but they don't know where to start. So I ask people to join the Writing Incubator Challenge and see how much they can actually get done in 30 days. And then I invite them, if they are disciplined enough and willing to do the hard work to be productive in that 30 days, then I invite them to come over to the Author's Den, because then I know that they're serious and they are ready to do the hard work it takes to become an author.
I like the way you've set that up. So it's like a funnel system. If you show your interest and you get them involved, then they've got to prove that they've got that hunger to be an author and that thirst to get their book out there, which, yeah, I'm sure it's no easy feat. And of course, like anything you do in life, if you can find someone who's already done it, who's willing to share with you how they did it, it's going to take you leaps and bounds closer to getting it done in a shorter, condensed period of time, I imagine, right?
Absolutely. I really don't give people a time limit for their production. It's your book and your big idea, and it deserves time to be nurtured so that when the world gets your idea, when it's out there, it's the absolute best production that you can give. So I don't like to rush people. I ask them to give me a time, and then we break up that time into small chunks so that they can manage it and get the work done in that time period. And we just produce this excellent material.
Fantastic. And now I must ask, where did the idea come from for the Author's Den? And I understand you've wrote books yourself. Could you tell us a little bit more about those?
I got to tell you. So I wrote this great book, Sila, When Mommy Left for Foreign. And I was enjoying the book tour and enjoying the press and the TV and all the media stuff. I was enjoying it. But most of the times when I encountered regular people like myself, they just wanted to know, how did you do it? And I thought, wow, you know what? It was a struggle for me. It was hard. But through all the ups and downs and the aches and the mistakes, I learned, I put together a nice system so that I was able to manage it and get it done. So I started sharing with people my easy, simple system. And I realized I was sharing this quite often. I was sharing this on a daily basis. I was sharing with people how to. And it dawned on me one day, I was like, yo, I could put this in a course.
Yep.
And I just prepared the course. I called my niece. I said, hey, I have this great idea. People have been asking me, and this is how I've been doing it daily. I've been on my way home from work sharing with people. I would make an appointment with them and share with them on my way to work on a daily basis. These are the steps you would take to do it. And we did it. We just sat down and penned it out, and here we are.
And here we are, yeah. And is it more, tell me, is it more of a digital course, or is it one-on-one sessions with you? How's the course delivered?
So the course is delivered by email. I send you, so we have weekly meetings, and during the meetings, I do the teaching, and then I send you your homework during, on the email. But I'm putting it together now, so it's more professional. I'm working with Alicia Little.
Yeah, I know. Alicia,
and she is helping me to put it, together. So it's more concise, and it's on this a bigger platform.
Yeah, awesome. Are you using Teachable?
I'm going to use Teachable because I already have an account with Teachable.
Yeah, Teachable's great, right? I mean, I'm sure you, as some of the audience may already know, me and Denise both spoke at the Power Voice Summit on the 12th of last month. Coming up to 3 weeks. 3 weeks today, actually, here. I'm still buzzing from it. I don't know about you.
Me too.
Yeah.
What an exciting event.
Oh, it was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
My God.
And the training that we did for that was delivered through Teachable as well, wasn't it? So it's a really good, easy platform that you can access from any device.
Yes.
Now, tell me, and I'm really going to focus on the writing of books when I ask my questions today. Usually it's we cover these questions on someone's business or their entrepreneurial journey, and I'm sure we'll spill over into that as well. But it seems to be that you're professional in the art of not only writing books, but helping others to get their books down from their ideas to actually, existing right next to them in the physical reality. So what would you say is, I hear the term writer's block sometimes, and I'm not much of a writer, so I can't really associate with what that means, but I can, of course, create a good idea in my mind. But what would you say is like some of the biggest challenges that people face when they're writing a book?
So they call it writer's block. A lot of people say, I just don't know. I had a stumble this week. I didn't know where to go. So I also have a system to get you out of that rut, because if you have preparation, if you know these things are going to happen, like I know these things are going to happen, I've been there before, I've done it. So I have this easy write system. I call it WRITE. And I teach people how to get past writer's block during those times when you feel like you can't produce.
Got it. And I'm sure, it's not just like one time where it's going to come if you're writing a book. It can come at multiple times throughout the process.
It's writing a book is like climbing a mountain, a giant mountain. And it's not easy. So when you start out, you're excited. You want to get this done. You told all your friends you're going to climb this big mountain. And so you're excited. But if you're not prepared, by the time you get not even halfway, you'll already lose stamina. You don't have water. You don't have anything to eat. You are exhausted. You're not prepared. But in the office, then I teach you how to be prepared for this long journey that you're going to take. It's exhausting sometimes. So I teach you step by step how to do it. And these are the ways that you need to take to get it done. And it be, everyone has been saying, thank you. I don't know how you did it, but I have been wanting to write a book for many years. I had the first person that did my course, she said she's been wanting to write this book for over 20 years.
Wow.
She started it so many times and wasn't able to get it done, but she was able to get it done within a few months with me. So
fantastic. Yeah.
Come join us.
That's something that you touched on there. It's like, and it's the same with a lot of projects, isn't it? When you get started on a project, the idea is hot. It's a fire. It's burning in your mind, and you get excited. Of course, you tell all your friends, and you tell your family and everyone that you're going to tell about. And I know, in my experience, sometimes I find it better to keep quiet sometimes about the projects, because sometimes you tell all your friends, your family, you give all the information out, and then you put the expectation and the pressure on them, or just on yourself more than anything. No one's putting it on you usually, but sometimes it's you, and you think, if I did this again, I'd probably just keep quiet until it was ready, and then come with the impact. What do you think about that?
You know what I teach people? Tell your friends you're writing a book. Give them your book launch date, because now you have something to work forward to. You have to prove to your friends that you're going to become this author that you've been telling them about. So this is also an incentive for you to get it done. Also, I'm an accountability coach for you in the Author's Den, and we meet every single week through sickness, through health, through traumas, through troubles. No matter what's going on in your life, we have a meeting. And I know I'm not heartless. I understand life happens, and I will listen to you. But because we have a constant communication, you feel a responsibility to continue to write in spite of what you're going through. And that's how part of the trick to get people to complete their project.
Got it. Yeah, it's all about accountability and announcing it, right? Set the date and then go, yep, that's it in my mind. That's what's going to happen. If they're good friends, then they'll keep you accountable, not put the pressure on you.
I'll do both. I'll keep you
right.
and keep the pressure.
Right. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm going to go for this. I've got an idea for 2 books. I'm happy to give the titles away now, but I'm not going to probably give much more. One is, of course, and unsurprisingly, going to be called The Hunger for the Hustle. Yes. And the other one is going to be called, and I thought we could talk about this because I understand you used to live in a different country to where you live now. I moved from from England to Australia 5 years ago, and I want to write a book called How to Move to the Other Side of the World and Get Away with It.
Oh, wow. I love them both.
Yeah, because I think the second one, I've had that idea for a while to do that. I think it's a thing that a lot of people want to do, or to move to another country, to move to another part of the world. But there's a big knowing-doing gap in knowing you want to do that and actually doing it, and what it takes to do it. Of course, you need some physical things on hand to help you, but you also need a good mental toolbox as well, I think, to get it done, particularly if you're moving on your own without your family and friends like I did.
Jake, you know why your book is necessary in this time? We live in this global community. You can work from anywhere nowadays. You can start your business and work from home. So you can, if you get the right tools, if you get someone that's been there before like you, that says, hey, this is a great idea, but these are the things that you need to do to get there and do it successfully. Your book is necessary. Come on now, get it out there.
We're going to get it done. I'm excited already. Very excited. Now, tell me, and I guess it might be, I'll ask you this in kind of 2 senses. What's been your biggest win while you've been working with people writing their books so far? And as an author, what do you think is your biggest win when you are writing a book?
So every time someone's happy with the Author's Den, I get so excited. I get so excited every time someone signs up, and every time someone is complete the project. I'm like, yes! I get so super excited. I jump around. Yes.
Brilliant. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, that's how you know you're passionate about it, right? Because it just fills you with energy.
Yes.
And of course, I guess, I mean, it would seem logical that the most exciting and biggest win of when you're writing a book is when it gets released and you can get the physical copy in your hand.
Oh my goodness. For me, when I wrote my book, so writing a book, I was telling you, is a journey, and halfway through it, it gets really exhausting. And so at that point, I was like, why did I do this to myself? But at the end, I've already given out my launch date. I've told all my friends that I was going to do this, and now they're expecting me to do it. So when I finally finished and I had that launch party, that book signing party, that was so exciting for me. And my sister, one of my sisters, just passed last December, and she was at my book signing. She passed about a year after the book signing. And so looking back, I am so grateful that I accomplished that goal before, she got sick and before she passed, because she was so proud and she brought all her friends and she was so happy for me. So I was, now I'm even more grateful that I was able to accomplish that goal while she was here.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I'm sorry for your loss there, but it is good that your sister got to make it to such a big milestone like that in your life, of course.
Yes.
Now, this is a bit of a question I didn't give you beforehand. I'm sure you'll be able to answer it. Yeah. And what do you think, there's books being released on more than one format now. It's not just the paper book that you can physically hold in your hand. There's books being released on Kindle and books being released as audio books as well. Do you think it's, and as you're training, do you just teach people about the physical release of the book, or about kind of releasing on the other different platforms as well?
All the platforms, because so a lot of people commute, they have long commutes to work, or most of the times people spend long times in their cars in the airport now. So I teach people that it's important to think about the way you can reach a bigger audience, and that's by putting your book on audio.
Yeah, I must agree. It's such an easier way to digest a book through audio.
Yeah. So someone can listen to the reading of your book on their way to work. You got to get that audience however way you can. So
yeah,
and I love having both a tangible book to hold in my hand, and I appreciate technology. I think it's necessary. So
yeah, I do, and it's interesting how that's kind of, that perception has changed, because of course when Amazon first came around and we started to see the decline of bookstores, and everyone was books are now online. You can't go to the big fancy bookstore, which they do still exist. Okay, there's not many of them around, but I actually see a little bit of a there's a little bit of a nostalgia value in them now almost. But and Amazon first came around, everyone's like, oh, the bookstores are going to die. But then really they brought this second nuance of technology around, which is the audio book, and they made it massively available with their platform Audible. Of course, there's other platforms out there. But for anyone who's short on time, or anyone who travels a lot and drives a lot, that's where I listen to a lot of my books, and I'm particularly on long drives. You can get through a whole book in a drive that, for me, I'm a pretty slow reader. I only read maybe a chapter or 2 or 3 a day, something I'm trying to get better at. But when you're short on time, and you're on the road a bit, audio books are just perfect, aren't they?
Absolutely. I learn a lot in my car because I do travel. I have a good amount of commute back and forth to work. So I listen to motivational speeches. I listen to Les Brown. I listen to, a lot of audio books also right there in my car.
Yeah. And I like it because I was listening to one book yesterday by Gary Vaynerchuk, his book Crushing It, and he'd done an audio, and something I hadn't noticed before is that sometimes the authors, particularly if they're reading it themselves, they'll go back to a section of the book, and of course they can update it. Oh, so it's not just, because things always change, particularly in the space that Gary Vaynerchuk was talking about, which is marketing.
Yes.
Things are always changing in the digital marketing platform so quickly that you can go back and kind of go, hey, look, this book was written in 2017. I'm now talking in 2020, and this is the latest thing that's happened with this particular subject matter. And that is so powerful because it means the book becomes even more dynamic and can be updated.
Exactly. Yes. So that's why we have to stay, technology is not going anywhere. So we have to get with it.
Oh yeah. You're not gonna reverse it. And
No.
you're probably not gonna slow it down either.
Get with it. So think about when you're writing your book, think about getting it on audio almost simultaneously with your launch.
Yeah, I would think I would like to do that. Yeah, I think that's definitely good advice. And I like it more when the author, where it's possible, reads their own book out.
Because your voice is amazing, and that beautiful accent. We want to hear your voice. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, I'll get it done. I'll enjoy doing it. I think that when you hear the author reading their own story, there's no one more powerful than them to read it. There's no one more impactful. There's no one who's going to take you more there in your mind to create that vivid picture. I've said this a few times on the podcast, and I'm sure you'll resonate with it. The best storytellers, to me, they create the vivid image of what they're describing in your mind as you're digesting it. And to me, that can be done in the audio format in no better way than the person who's wrote the story to begin with is the one that's relaying it back to you.
Yes. So on my website, DeniseNicholson.com, the first thing you see is no one can tell your story better than you. So who's the best person to read your story? Your voice, your emotions. It's just all raw you. And that's a beautiful thing to share with your audience and be able to connect with them. And that's awesome. I just love it. Great idea.
Yeah. And this is an interesting question. The question is, if you had to start again tomorrow, would you do something differently? With that first book that you wrote, I'm not sure if you had someone around you to mentor you, someone to guide you, or how you kind of got to know about doing it. But would you have done something differently if you had to do it again? Or when you do it again, I expect.
So I just... your first book is not going to be perfect because writing is a muscle, and the more it's like a muscle. So the more you write, the better you become. So I don't know if I would do anything to this book different, but I know I'm going to do a ton of things differently when I write my next book.
Brilliant. I like that. Yeah. So you wouldn't change anything from the first one because the lessons are valuable, and that's actually enabled you to be able to make the changes and better the experience for your second book.
Yes, but I've taken so many classes since this book. Like
right.
I've taken so many writing courses with so many great authors, and I've learned so much more because I am teaching people how to write books. So I've invested thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into myself so I can better serve my audience. And of course, I'm learning how to become a better author myself.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, right, for you and everyone you want to help. But that's really the only way. It takes a lot of, if you want to develop yourself personally or to develop yourself to achieve a certain thing, that's what it takes. A lot of hard work on yourself, and
yes,
and it does really take a lot of financial investment as well, to access the courses that you need, the best courses you can find to teach you to do it. Yeah.
Yep. If you want the best, you have to pay for it.
You do. It's absolutely right. There's no shortcuts, no hacks.
No shortcuts. You get what you pay for.
Yeah, you get what you pay for. It's funny you should say that. I got a friend who, my best friend, he's been my best friend for about 30 years. And that's, with some friends, you have a little saying that you have to have together. Yeah. And that's what we say. You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
We can text it down to YGWYP4. You get what you...
Oh, okay. So
you get what you pay for. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. Although I must admit, sometimes you don't get what you pay for. Sometimes people say you a dodgy one or a dodgy deal, and you don't get what you pay for. But you learn from.
You know what I've learned? I've learned to give more value than people pay for. So even though we might encounter, some instances where we don't get what we pay for, thank God we believe in karma. So we give more value when we have, people that trust us to teach them something, or to take them to a place they've never been, or they see something in us that they like, or they want to work with us. Give them more than they can pay for.
Yeah, more value.
Yes.
Completely agree with that. I try and do that in all my businesses. Before my important thing is to create a really good experience to the customer or the client before, during, and long after the purchase, not
Absolutely.
just at any one point along the way, because it's important to be the difference, and people will always remember your level of service, sometimes more than the product or service you're supplying itself, actually. So it's very important, particularly in in the digital age where we are in, where everything is everywhere now, and reviews carry a lot of impact. It's important to provide a great level of service the best you can.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, what are your goals and aspirations for the Author's Den going forward?
I want to teach 10,000 people, to help 10,000 people write their book, because I remember when it was just a dream for me. It was just a goal, something that everyone kept saying, you need to write a book. My teachers, everyone would say, you need to write a book. And I knew one day it will happen, but I thought I would be way older because I have to retire and then I'll have the time. But you have the time now. As long as you want it, we can carve out that time, and you make that time sacred, you'll get it done. Yeah. So I would like to help 10,000 people accomplish that goal of, getting that feeling of joy, an accomplished feeling when they write their book, and knowing that your book is going to help people, because your story will change someone's life. When you put it out there, you're going to change someone's life, because when they hear your story and hear what you've been through, and see that, oh my God, if this person can make it after having been through all those things, then there's hope for me. And giving people hope, anytime you can give people hope, it's worth it.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Life's about people and projects, I really believe, and taking the people that you have in your life and your own story, and then making that a project, as in a book. People are full of stories. And when a story is told and shared, the power of it can help many other people on many different levels. I think sometimes some people think they have stories within them that people wouldn't like to hear about or don't really matter to the world. But I generally think that can be something that's not true, really. Something that's not true.
Every story is important. Every story is important, because if you can see the good in each person's story, then you can teach someone else. You can use the good in that story to teach people how they can be better themselves, in spite of what they've gone through.
Yeah, in spite of. Now, I'd love to get 3 hot tips from you, and actually very fittingly, some book recommendations. 3 hot tips for anyone that is thinking about or wants to write their own book, but perhaps doesn't know the next step to take and to get it done.
Just start. First, there will never be the perfect time to become an author. You'll never have the perfect, everything is not going to gel well all the time. So just start. Just make a decision that if you really want to write this book, just make a decision to start. Go to DeniseNicholson.com and click that button, say, I'm starting now. Or go to author Denise Nicholson on Instagram and DM me. We'll make an appointment. We'll talk about it. And, just start. Another thing I wanted to say is invest in yourself. If you really want to see change, then you have to change yourself. And that's how we make a better world. When you decide that you're worth investing in, then the world will see your worth. And thirdly, be remarkable.
I love that. Love that. I've put your links to your website and your Instagram in the comments so everyone can find you and them, whether they're watching now or later, and just get started. There couldn't be a truer word. There never is a perfect moment for a lot of big decisions and big projects that we want to do and make happen in our life. But the power of the decision is the important thing. And actually making a decision not to make a decision is actually a decision in itself. And then that just leads to procrastination. And like we both kind of agreed on earlier in the call, when the idea is hot there in your mind, that's when you should act on it, right? And just go there and get started and get it done.
Even if you're scared, start scared. Just do it.
Yeah. And a book recommendation. Tell us, as an author and someone who helps other people write books, what are you reading at the moment?
So right now, I love The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. That book changed my life. I read that book over 20 years ago, and it changed my life. But everyone should read The Power of Positive Thinking. Another book that I like, what I'm reading now is Think and Grow Rich. I've read it before, but I like going over books again.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
And
I read it about the fourth or fifth time, I think.
The Purple Cow. That's my recommendation, the newest recommendation.
Not heard of that book. Who's that by?
Oh, I think it's Seth Godin. I was trying to remember his name.
I can look quickly. I got it.
Yeah, The Purple Cow.
Purple Cow. Oh yeah, by Seth. You got it. Seth Godin.
Yes.
Transform your business by being remarkable.
Yes, that guy. When I read that book, it taught me that no matter what you're doing, if you are sweeping the floor in the business, do it exceptional. Be the best you can be every single time you show up. So be remarkable.
Love it. I absolutely love it. Before we move off, Denise, I'd like to take a minute to talk about your not-for-profits that you're involved in your charities, because I see that you are a charitable person, as I am too. I have some charitable projects, and I think they're always worth a notable mention. So I know you have Knitted Together, which creates a space where women can share their stories and help to grow and empower each other. And then, of course, there's Seeds of Opportunity, which I understand that's a charity for children who are essentially in need of homing and education. So please tell us more about both of them.
So Knitted Together, I co-founded with a group of women, and we essentially started that so that we can be a support group for each other. And then once we were getting all these great results in our own lives, just within our circle, just by sharing our resources, then we decided, wow, if this is so helpful for us, maybe we should share it with a few more women. And we opened it up to a few more women, and every year it gets bigger and bigger. And we've done it 4 years in a row, where we have a seminar and we teach people how to tell their stories, especially people that they were traumatized by their story. So we teach them how to tell their story and empower themselves and empower others. That's Knitted Together. And then Seeds of Opportunity. Seeds of Opportunity I absolutely love, because it started out where I was just helping, one little boy. you know, I was on vacation and someone asked me to give a back to school book bag packed with back to school stuff. She said to give it to a child that I thought was in need. And I was on vacation driving around with this book bag and could not find a child that I thought was, you know, in dire need of a book bag. And then one day, almost very close to my return back home from my vacation, a little boy walked up to me. We were in this very busy town area, and he walked up and said, "Miss, can I have some money to buy something to eat?" And when I looked at him, immediately I knew this was the child. This was the child that needed the book bag. So I gave him the book bag. Because someone had given me the book bag to give, I took a picture so I could show them, yes, I found the person, and here he is getting the book bag. So a lady saw me taking a picture, and she said, "Take care of him because his mother has 11 children. And he's always out here begging." And he did look malnourished, and, you know, he looked like he needed some help. And so we just created a way to keep in contact. There was a barbershop nearby. We brought him to the barbershop, and the barber told us that he would get in contact with the mother. And eventually we got in touch with the mother and kept contact. And so we've been taking care of him, and he's been doing excellent. When we first met him, he couldn't read and he couldn't write. And now he's in high school, reading and writing.
Fantastic. Well. That's brilliant. I'm really pleased to hear that.
So that's where we started Seeds of Opportunity, and we've grown.
Yeah. And again, I've put some link in there to Denise's website where you can find out more about all the wonderful things she does, as well as her charitable opportunity. Now, Denise, I mean what I said, we're going to get working on this book. I think we'll get working on how to move to the other side of the world and get away with it. Is the first book you'll be seeing from,
yes,
from
myself. I agree.
That's and then I think, yeah, let's maybe check back in. Let's have another podcast when I'm kind of along the journey, maybe halfway through, and then we could have another one when I'm ready to release it to the world.
We're keeping you accountable.
We sure are. The world can watch this back, so I don't know how you can keep much more accountable than that.
You tell the world, and now you have to prove it.
Absolutely.
Well, welcome to the Author's Den. I got
thank you.
I'll be with you every step of the way.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fantastic. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, and I just needed to be connected to the right person to help me do it, because I believe when you do things with a team-driven collaborative effort, they get happening to a better caliber, and they get happening quicker. So on the side, I know you speak to our friend Aaron Grider, who's in some of the courses and programs we're in. He's just been on the side. He's been watching. So I just wanted to say hi, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Thanks for watching. He's a great guy.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Yeah. Okay, Denise, I think we'll leave it
Aaron
there.
Is awesome too. When is he coming to your show? He's
already been on. He was one of the earlier ones I had.
Oh, but, I have to. Yeah. What number? I'll look it up. I must see that.
I believe Aaron was number two.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can get it. In fact, that segues really well. You can always watch these and all the other episodes back on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, guys. Hunger for the Hustle. Denise, I'm going to let you get to sleep because it's getting pretty late there. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on, and everyone who's watching, you will be seeing us spend some time on here again when we get this book underway.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. I was honored I'm honored to be here.
It's an honor to have you. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Good night, folks.